getting the chance to play in the ACAC this year, you guys have been an independent for a while, so getting the chance to be in a conference, how exciting is that for you?
It's very exciting, getting to play a whole bunch of new teams, getting to change the schedule a little bit.
What excites you most about getting a chance to play for a conference championship? Because, the goal is to win a championship, and being an independent school, you have to wait until the playoffs to do that.
It's a prestigious event that we need to. It'd be nice to get a conference championship under my belt as a high schooler.
You guys historically kind of a running offense. You ran for a ton of yards last year. Is that still the approach this season? And if so, who are some of the guys that are going to be toting the ball for you?
I mean, yeah, it's always going to be a big part of our offense. Drew Huffman, Levi Stant, Andrew McShane, Caleb Tolan, they're all going to be a big part of our running game this year.
What has you excited about this Jay County season heading forward to 2014?
I mean, we're a pretty close group this year, so I think that closeness is going to bring us together and help us win football games this year.
What do you take away from last season? Pretty good season at Jay County. What do you take away from last season that you can roll over to keep that momentum going for the Patriots?
I mean, last year we had a lot of senior leadership, and I've been trying to get better at senior leadership, and last year was just a perfect example of what it needs to be this year.
Millspaugh from Jay County. Obviously, it's a better chance for us here in Northeast Indiana to see you guys because of the move into the ACAC. So what does it mean to be in that conference and be competing for a conference championship after being an independent for such a long time?
Well, it's huge in lots of regards. First of all, scheduling, when you're not in a conference, in football especially, it's a nightmare. Last year we played Wallaceburg, Ontario, Canada, and if they didn't come to us, we were going to go play a Princeton High School out of Cincinnati, Ohio. We've been all over the state of Indiana. Your opponents change constantly from year to year, so that's a really big deal from a scheduling standpoint. But like you said, I mean, you have a chance to actually play for a conference championship during the season. Our kids are excited about that. Our kids have a chance to be all-conference, academic all-conference. There's lots of neat things. The media day today, we've never been part of anything like this. So it's been great already. It's helped motivate our kids in the off-season because they know they have a chance to play for a conference championship this year. So it's very exciting, and we're very honored to be in the ACAC.
You graduated, you're a big running back, but it's always good, especially as a head coach, to have a quarterback back with experience. So where do you go from that looking forward to kind of retool or rework maybe your offense?
Well, we have two major holes on our team. The fullback, J.D. Mangus, was a fantastic player, rushed for 1,803 yards last year. The thing about what we do, being a power T offense, we run a lot of trap, power, and sweep. Our backfield action looks identical regardless of what play we're running. And so, he was fast enough once a lot of teams couldn't find him initially because they thought maybe it was sweep or power. So the time they realized he had the ball, he was already past the linebackers. He was fast enough to run and get a lot of yards. I do think that we have a kid that's going to fill in for him at fullback, a kid named Drew Huffman. And this is a bold statement, but I do feel comfortable that we will get at least 1,200 yards out of Drew at that position. We have a quarterback, Nick Clemens, that's back for his third year. And the thing about Nick, each year he's gotten better. We don't throw the ball a lot, but the thing is, when we do throw it, obviously we want to be effective. We retooled his throwing motion, and he's throwing the ball further. His spirals are tighter, and his accuracy is a lot better. So I do think that we'll probably throw more. Ideally, I would like to throw 10 to 12 times a game, and at least half of those come on first down.
When you take a look at the challenge as a coach, I mean, on one hand, because your schedule has flipped so drastically, these are teams that you're not used to playing, so you have a lot of work to do in terms of the scouting of those teams, but also that has to be a challenge that as a head coach you look forward to a bunch of new opportunities, to a bunch of different teams that you've never played before, and teaching that to these guys.
Yeah, we actually, a couple years ago, scrimmaged Adams Central in the summer. We've played Heritage the last 3 years. 4 years ago, we played Leo, and that was just a one-year deal. But the nice thing about that, we've seen a lot of these teams on film, and one of my favorite things to do is breaking down other teams. So we've seen a lot of film. We've made notes. We kind of have an idea schematically what they like to do, and obviously personnel changes. But we have some notes and stuff in preparation. One of the things that I think is nice about coming in is a lot of work for us to do because we got to get used to what they're doing. Yes. Our offense is very unique in the sense that, I don't know, aside from what Marion used to run, any other teams that run it. And a lot of teams, when we play them, after the game, they'll say, we had no idea where the football was. I mean, you guys hide the ball better than anybody we've seen. And they always say that it looks slower on film, and then when you get out there, their kids can't find the ball. So I think that's an advantage for us this year, simply because they haven't had an opportunity to see it live yet, and I think that will help us.